And joining us now for more is former Assistant U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Robbins. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Let's jump right in. So why do you think the special counsel thought it was necessary to take this step now? And could it impact the case going forward?
Hi, Stephanie. I think the reason that he made the decision that he did is that because there's been an unceasing series of these attacks and, let's face it, attempts to intimidate witnesses, potential jurors, court personnel, and the like, resulting in threats against the judge, threats against the prosecutors, and intending to get ahead of this problem. The special counsel's office decided, look, it was now or never. Listen, there are ways of intimidating witnesses other than delivering dead fishes wrapped in newspapers to their door. And the problem is that these statements, it was perceived by the special counsel's office, were really starting to have an effect, and they had to get out ahead of it. And that's what resulted in the motion that was filed this evening.
Yeah, we've got a whole social media aspect to it now. No dead fish being delivered. But can you just explain the difference between a broad gag order and a request like this that's more narrowly tailored?
Yes, a great question. A broad gag order would be an order that the former president couldn't say anything about the case. And of course, that would have very serious First Amendment implications. After all, he's a candidate for president, and he is entitled to proclaim his innocence from the hills and all that goes with that. The narrowly tailored order that the special counsel seeks is one that would prevent him from making statements and engaging in conduct which is reasonably likely to intimidate potential witnesses, potential jurors, court personnel, and the prosecutors. After all, a federal judge presiding over a criminal case is not a potted plant required to stick her head in the sand and permit the fair administration of justice to be undermined. So you have two competing considerations. On one hand, the First Amendment and the right of free speech, and on the other hand, our interest in ensuring that justice is done fairly.
I would imagine that it would be really tough to police what the former president says and does on social media. So how enforceable is something like this?
Well, it's problematic on several levels. What is an intimidating statement? What is a threatening statement? Certainly, if you go after me, I'll go after you is not going to enter the subtlety Hall of Fame anytime soon. But there's a whole range of statements that could be on either side of that line. So that's one problem in policing this kind of order. And then, of course, there's the obvious one. What happens if a judge finds, after an evidentiary hearing, that he's violated that order? Does the former president get shackled and put in jail? Well, that is what happens after due process and due warning to other people who violate gag orders. So it's sort of hold on to your hats on multiple levels.
And of course, the former president's team is responding to all of this. They called it, quote, an attempt to deprive President Trump of his First Amendment rights. Do they have a valid argument to challenge this on First Amendment grounds?
Well, in a word, no. There is a United States Supreme Court out of Nevada that upholds the right of courts to protect the fair administration of justice by preventing people, in this case an attorney, from trying to prejudice witnesses and jurors and otherwise undermining the fair administration of justice. So actually, the case has been decided that there is not an unlimited First Amendment right to engage in this kind of conduct. Will such an order, even if it's narrowly tailored, affect, restrict, impede the former president's freedom of speech as a layman would understand it? Yes, of course. He will not be able to say certain things that he would like to say in certain venues that he'd like to say them. But on the other hand, as to whether or not there's a valid argument that this would violate the First Amendment, I think that's a loser of an argument.
All right, we will see how this plays out politically and legally. Jeffrey, thank you so much for your insights tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.